Welcome to the eSales Podcast, your ultimate guide to mastering the art of online selling. Whether you're an entrepreneur, business owner, digital marketer, or sales professional, this podcast is the passport to dominating the digital marketplace. My name's V, your eSales navigator. Join me as we dive into the latest strategies, tools, tactics to help you automate and conquer the world of online sales. Get ready to boost your online sales game and unlock your full potential. Let's dive in. So welcome to the eSales Podcast. We have Jeanette here with me today. She is a therapist and also healer and has been extensively in the sales space for quite some time. So Jeanette brings another element and another perspective to sales where she brings the energy and the healing and the mindset space into sales. So that way we can transform the way we think about sales to make it not sound yucky. So Jeanette, welcome. I'm so excited to have you on the show today, and thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here and talk about all things sales.
I'm so excited to have you on board as well, and same with the audience, I'm sure. So let's just get started with the good old, tell us about yourself, where you've come from, and how you've landed to where you are now.
Sure. So I actually have a background in psychology, but at the time when I graduated 25 years ago, I didn't feel like it was really helping people. So, and the amount of sessions that were covered by insurance, it just wasn't effective. So when I was doing master's level training, I thought this isn't really useful. So I thought I'd get a regular job. And that's when I got into sales. I was doing that, like I said, for 25 years. About 4 or 5 years ago, I retrained into some modalities that really work. And I got back into helping people heal. And I've noticed in this journey, spending more time with entrepreneurs, that the sales can come with its own special sort of feeling. People like it or they don't. Oftentimes they don't want it to feel yucky, right? And the only reason that I was successful in my sales career was that I found a way to make it work without being a used car salesman kind of person. And so I love to share that. The other piece that's so fun is that I can help with abundance blocks, subconscious belief systems. My clients come to me for anxiety and all sorts of things, but I put together sales strategies for folks. Like I do a lot of it now, leaning on all that experience. So.
Wow, there's so much to untap there. I was trying to think while you were talking, which area do I want to tap into the most? But I love the word abundance. You were just saying before, you're unblocking those blocks and then tapping into abundance. Tell us more about that and how that links to helping others out with their sales journey.
Oh, sure. So fundamentally, we have programming that comes to us through our life's experience. And if you've ever looked at abundance mindset things, you'll know that part of our issues as society is we have this idea that we elevate the idea of poverty, and most movies have bad characters that are wealthy. Bad actors always have a lot of money. So I actively consciously talk with my children about that. When we see something nice and fancy, I make positive associations with the person who owns that nice thing, right? Because in their minds, because they've been raised in the society, they'll see it as the person might not be nice, right? And it's not something that we're really aware of, right? It's not something we go around thinking about. But if I'm in a session with someone and I see that coming up, we absolutely explore that. There is a specific dynamic that is particular to women also that we have around, we think it's an abundance block, but there can be issues with receiving. And it's not just money. It's usually, in my experience, like a twin wound. You'll see difficulty in romantic relationships, receiving love. There could be a self-trust issue, a relationship with yourself, and receiving money. So fundamentally, we think about abundance and you want to talk about manifesting wonderful things, you just have to untangle that negative association that's running.
Interesting. So that untangling block, and so you're saying it comes up when it's asking for money, receiving the money. Is that related to pricing yourself or asking for more business? Is that what you're saying, how it applies to business, Jeanette?
Yeah, it can apply to business. Once you're free of that thought process and you don't see making money as bad, right? Then you're available to have conversations around sales, because if you're in business for yourself or for someone else really, but mostly for yourself, you believe in what you're doing to the degree that you want to deliver that content, that product, that service to lots of people, but the only way that you can do that is by talking to them, right?
Mm,
So that's where it can show up, right? Once you're
yeah.
not afraid to receive, then you can have those conversations and price yourself appropriately and, and really move forward.
I love that so much. And I think I remember when I first came into business, asking for money on price for myself was the biggest block that I had. I just couldn't. And then when it came on the call to closing the final close, how much my program was, I was like, oh, it's like $2,000. I don't know. That was literally how I held a sales call. So I can relate to when you say that, and it does take time to overcome them. But I guess as a therapist, as a coach, how do you help your clients kind of overcome that block?
Sure. There's the work that I do actually involves a lot of hypnotherapy. It sounds woo woo, but it really what we do is have a conversation with their unconscious. And you can consciously try to analyze where all this comes from, but it can take longer because if you can solve all your problems consciously, you absolutely would, right? But if we can just run to the nexus, genesis of the problem, which is fundamentally it's sort of operating in the back end, your phone, your operating system on your phone, there's just a little piece that needs to be updated. So in my work, we just go to the source and determine what belief system is holding you back. What is it? Do you really believe that money is the root of all evil? Or what societal belief have you adopted that it's not even yours? I have a client whose family was not wealthy and her siblings grew up and they didn't have a lot of money. So she was afraid to make money because if she made money, she would be different from the people that she loved the most. It gives me chills thinking about it because it's from such a beautiful place. A love of her family was impacting her ability to make money.
Wow, and saying before, a lot of it was kind of thrown for her, right? She didn't know that she had these blocks and this setbacks, if you want to call it that. But I think there's a lot in sales that we don't realize and we don't actually understand within ourselves. And I think comes up, a lot in this journey, life itself. So how do you give people a way to see the blocks? Sometimes it goes hidden for years, months, decades.
Oh, sure. That's what I do in my sessions, so my one-on-one sessions, and that's really to blow through the block, right? If you're already aware that you have just a general unease about selling, right? That's where the therapy side of it can come into play. If it's logistics, there are so many courses out there that'll tell you how to do what your favorite guru did to blow out anything. But when it's coming from a place where you're uncertain or not sure how to operate in sales, the programs that are available, it's hard to hang your hat on the pieces that will work for you until you move through this sort of unease around sales. I actually run sales practice groups and people do not like to practice. They don't because it's uncomfortable, it's weird, right? But if you practice, I like to practice because I don't know what somebody's going to say. So, but the more practice you get at having those conversations, the more you can see that it really is about serving someone, helping them, and giving them an option to choose you, right? If they don't know that you're there, then they can't choose you. But those are two things. So get some therapy around your abundance block, or and practice.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's really cool. In terms of practice, this is just a thought. Would you be keen to just do a 2-minute practice sales call or something like that now? So that way we can see the uncomfortable. I'm willing to feel the feels right now. So that way the audience can understand thoughts, questions, feelings towards that.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
Okay.
can you come to play with like an actual or something close to an actual thing that you'd like to resolve, or something, as close as you can get without giving away your private life, but just make
Yeah, sure,
it
sure,
make
sure.
it real.
I'm just thinking right now, I am scared at being amazing at what I do. So where this path can take me. I'm starting this podcast. I'm finally decided to go live and tell the world that I'm doing what I'm doing, even though I've been doing off the side for a long time. It's scary letting the public and the world know.
Yes, absolutely. So what would you like to have on the other side of that?
Freedom to be me. Yeah, I don't want
Yeah,
to block.
yeah, yeah. So there's something about telling the world what it is that you do that's scary. Can you describe how that shows up for you?
Telling people. So when I talk to someone I don't know, or telling people, my friends and family about it, they're the biggest ones that I notice.
Sure, sure. So is it fair to say that there's a judgment piece, a fear of judgment?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're not alone. It happens with a lot of people. And can you tell me, do you feel like it's impacting other areas of your life? Or is it simply the being afraid to tell people about what you do for business?
That's what I can see now. Just the business side. I think everything else, from what I see it, I'm pretty transparent.
So so is it, and then as you dip your toe in the water, like started the podcast and everything, why do you think that it's almost magnified or it's not going away now that you're moving towards what you want?
Because it's scary. It's really scary. It's liberating. Don't get me wrong, it's liberating and I'm loving it. At the same time, it's also really, really scary because I'm just learning. Trusting myself is another thing as well, but it's scary.
Can you say that you're learning to trust yourself? Is that what you
Yeah.
said?
More so
So it's scary.
scary.
Do you think that if you look 5 years down the road and you have not dealt with it, do you think it'll get worse or do you think it's just going to maintain this sort of level of scariness?
Oh, I think it'll get better.
Ah.
I can feel it getting better too, but it doesn't mean it's not scary though, Jeanette.
So you can feel it getting better over time already.
The more I talk to people like yourself, the more I'm holding these podcast sessions, the more I'm actually doing the doing, it actually
Yeah.
makes it easier.
So that you just answered that. I was just curious about that. What have you done that to in the past, like, to make it easier? How are you dealing with the scary feelings?
If I was to block it, I would just not get on the phone call or not reach out to people or procrastinate on, mainly because it's all online that I do. It's getting on phone call, calling prospects, talking to people, following
You're
up,
grinding it out. You just don't like it, but you're just doing it anyway.
or procrastinating and just putting it off the back burner.
So why do you think that it's not going away completely with with just trying to do it?
Why do I think that it's not going away? I I am not sure whether it's not going away. I think it
Okay.
is going away. It's still there. And I know that it'll get better, but I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that question.
So is it fair to say that you're on your way to being better already?
Yes, that's a good way to frame it. Yes,
So what is it that you really want?
the freedom it to go away for me to not have the fear every time I say I'm doing this, not have the fear to say that I'm going out and trying to chase my dreams essentially.
So you don't want to have the fear that comes up when you tell people that you're going out and chasing your dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's perfectly understandable. So describe for me what that would feel like for you if you didn't have the fear.
Freedom.
Freedom feels different to different people. I might find freedom in, I don't, but I'm riding a motorcycle. Somebody else might go a topless beach. What is freedom for you?
So freedom is just being able to talk fluently and freely and just be myself, not have the block. Sometimes I think I find myself overthinking, especially when it comes to saying what I do, right? So people on the call, I do websites, I build sun funnels for people, literally a done for you service. And then right now, as I say that, I'm like, oh my gosh.
It did come
Even
out
though I
very,
love it, even though I love it, it's just a funny thing. It's a funny
yeah,
thing. And so I just want to be able to have more flow and alignment when I say it.
because right now the fear is sort of jumbling things up for you.
That's right. That's right.
Uh,
That's right.
And so you feel like you feel more confidence, or you already have the confidence, it's just you'll feel in alignment. What is it that you'll feel without the fear?
I think the alignment will then give me the confidence. That's the alignment is what I feel. Like the
Yeah.
head knows what it wants, but my body goes through its own little journey and then gets tangled
Yeah.
up a little bit sometimes.
Oh, I get that. Well, so I know you booked the call with me, as to talk about the services I offer, but what do you feel like is stopping you from doing it on your own? If you're looking for assistance, but what do you think is stopping you from just getting rid of the fear?
I think I'm just stopping myself. Yeah,
Just stopping yourself.
just stopping myself. I'm stopping myself. Completely aware of stopping myself now, but yes, it's me versus me.
So it's you versus you. You're stopping yourself because talking about going after your dreams is scary. You just want to feel in alignment. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me about or anything we missed?
No, I think you summarized it there.
So I can I can definitely help you with that. And this is where, if you want, we could talk about the sales process. But here I have helped so many people with abundance blocks like this, but they show up differently for different people. But it reminds me a lot of folks who have a little bit of anxiety around just being themselves in the world and feeling that safety that's necessary to be able to communicate what we do, especially when you're doing your own thing. So
Mm.
it reminds me of a channeler that I worked with who had these amazing gifts when time she was little, but nobody understood her. And so she sort of kept it closed up and so she was getting in her own way. It was her versus her, just like you're talking about, because she needed to feel safe to be who she is in the world. And that's absolutely doable. So.
And so this is also me talking on podcast host versus me actually. Me is I think this is a common thing for a lot of people, obviously, including myself as well. Really getting out there, like you hear all the time, I'm sick of my 9 to 5. I want to do my own thing. I can't do this because of blah, life, family, money, finances, whatever it may be. So Jeanette, apart from your help joining your service and joining your program, what else can people do, or what other tips do you recommend that people help overcome such a block?
Oh, absolutely. So I highly recommend, if you don't have confidence in your product, if you're not sure about what you're doing, right? Take the time to do your research and your market research, right? Build your own use case. Convince yourself first that this is a worthy thing, right? Talk to people about it in a way that feels safe, right? Just say, hey, look, I'm doing some research. You don't have to tell them you've already spent years training up and creating this whole thing. You don't have to divulge all of that. Just say, you were saying you do done for you funnels. I want to talk to maybe 7 or 8 entrepreneurs who I know are looking to market. Looks like I could be of use to them. Just ask them the questions about their business and make sure that it's in alignment with what the market needs. And the more you build your own use case, the more confidence you have your own abilities, the better you'll be able to take it to market. The other piece that you to keep in mind, I think is so handy, is something a business mentor of mine says. He developed a life-changing way of transforming people's relationship with food. It can reverse diabetes. It resolves so many physical ailments. It's amazing. He's helped hundreds of thousands of people, but he could never have done that if he didn't talk to people about it, right? So if you think about sales as just a conversation, we just had a conversation. Was I leading you down where I thought I'd like for you to go? I want you to feel there's possibility, that there's help for you. I don't want you to leave a call with me thinking that you're stuck where you were and you can never get anywhere, right? So those are some tips. So convince yourself, but practice also, like I said, find somebody. Entrepreneurial space is huge. There's so many coaches, so many people. You've got to know at least 1 or 2 people and just say, I need someone to be vulnerable with. I think I suck at this. Help me, right? And we can work together. And so if you do all of those practical things from an outside perspective, you will not only be able to do the work, you'll also probably identify that exact little nugget in there that's holding you back. And then you'll be able to attack that too.
Oh, incredible. And I like that you just said it's very practical and very simple advice around talking to people about an idea. It doesn't have to be the whole business plan and strategy for the next 10 years, but just like a bit of market research. I think I'm definitely going to take that away and do that as well. So thank you, Jeanette. That's really incredible. And I also found that was really great. So I think I also have been through a lot of different coaching programs, but I find that you can never get enough, as in the journey always evolves, there's always blocks. Someone described it as another layer, another level, another devil. So as you go down, there's another devil that you've got to attack. And now, if you're ready to take your skills to the next level
and elevate your sales online, then eSales is the perfect school for you. In this school, we talk about the tools, the strategies to automate your sales process and effortlessly attract clients online. I also believe that sales should be fun, easy, lighthearted, and I'll teach you exactly how to do that step by step to actually make sales calls enjoyable and handle objections with confidence. Now, if this sounds like you, if this is something that you truly think that you need in your business right now to scale it to the next level, please sign up and put your name down onto our waiting list. We currently have a list at the moment, but you'd be the first person to hear about it when our enrollment opens. Just have a look at you'll find a link into the waiting list in the description below. So I look forward to seeing you in the school.
Kind of pass through. So yeah. I appreciate that. And I just love the fact that you are so calm and so patient and so open to listening. So Jeanette, tell us more about your program. How can people find you?
Oh, thank you. So I started into one-on-one therapy, working with folks with what I felt like would be useful. Again, I did my market research, but I didn't see the potential around toxic relationships, anxiety, sort of the common themes of the world. And I enjoy that tremendously. And what people really want tends to be sales assistance. So I have a small Facebook group of mostly women entrepreneurs, actually. Not that we don't like men, but I just know a lot of women who we to take time to connect with each other around sales. And I put together marketing plans for folks who are trying to launch their coaching practice. I will do the service for you, social media stuff, but that's not cheap. So I can give you an executable plan, and soon we'll have a course available. It's just not recorded yet, to teach you how to do all the things. I spent ridiculous amounts of money, so you don't have to. I'm trying to expedite everything, right? I want to give you all the tools that you need to know that you don't have to buy everybody's services and all of their things, and they'll tell you how to do it. It's very simple. It's easy. It doesn't have to be hard. And I would say, though, the lead funnels that you do, I do not understand any. I have had paid someone to do that. So highly recommend that people work with people like you, because that's complicated. I can do the woo-woo stuff, and I can do the relationships and all that, but there's a tech piece to it that is really important. And I discovered that by watching what successful people did, not what they told me to do, but how they were doing it. And I thought, well, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. So, but that was it. So they can find me pretty easily. I'm on Instagram, Jeanette Marie LLC. I'm also on Facebook as also Jeanette Marie. And I can send you all the links for my bio and everything, so you can have that. But those are the two easiest places to find me.
That would be incredible. And I will have those links in the description so people don't go back and just remember and type every single word. So I will have the links directly in the description. So I've really enjoyed this time with you. I think a lot of people will gain a lot from it. I hope so anyway. And so I would like to ask you one more question. So if you were to give one tip for the audience today to help them scale their sales, what would it be?
Truly, you're serving people, you're not selling. I have been the most successful woman on my teams in a male-dominated industry because I served people. I helped them. But you don't have to sell. It is not yucky. We're just talking to people. So that's the tip. You're serving.
Oh, thank you so much. And so let's bring that and exponentiate that message out there. I really appreciate it. I think that is such a key pivot in mindset. It's not selling, it's serving. And I think that's a massive way to help people unblock the blocks and move through their journey. But again, if anyone is keen to hear more about Jeanette and follow her, please follow and click on the links below. Other than that, I really appreciate everyone's time. Thank you so much. And Jeanette, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you.
It's been delightful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you listening into the show today. And if you did like our content, please like, share, and subscribe to this podcast or this YouTube series, so that way we can keep giving you more content and sharing you more knowledge around how to scale your sales online. And if you are wanting to boost your sales online, please sign up to our e-sales school, where you will learn to automate and navigate your way around in this digital marketplace. Thank you so much once again. I really appreciate you joining in today. And remember to keep selling, keep having fun, and keep being you.